Welcome to Alesha, who smiles at death. As far as our opening hand goes, I'd like this if we were, well, we're on the play. We'll get a card draw. I mean, we're on the draw. Man, I'm just not wild about this. I want to give a little bit more, some sort of action a little bit. Yeah, I'm not, the thought of yes, there we go, Knight's Whisper. Unfortunately, we don't have a black source, but yeah, we'll make this work. We'll keep on this one. And then Mentor, ooh, yeah, we'll put that on top. But even if we can't go for Knight's Whisper, simply having Mentor of the Meek with a couple creatures to get down sounds like a really fun time. And we are going to Lord Windgrace's estates. I can't wait to go visit through the jungle, see what kind of wild animals he has for us. Let's go and get the scry going. The scurry, the fever, the insanity, entomb. I do like that, but let's go and put that on the bottom because we need a black source to cast our black spell. So we're going to go put that on the bottom right now, and then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Alesha, who smiles at death. First strike. Whenever Alesha, I almost said whenever Alesha smiles. Whenever Alesha attacks, you may pay 2 mana. If you do, return target creature card converting it with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. Playing against Lord Windgrace. He's invited us to come stay. I don't know why. He reminds me of like a safari guy. He just looks kind of, I don't know, it looks pretty cool. +2, discard a card, then draw a card. If a land card is discarded this way, draw an additional card. Then for a -3, return up to 2 target land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then for a -11, destroy up to 6 target non-land permanents. Then create 6 Cat Warrior tokens with, if you're keeping score at home, Forest Walk. Oh yeah. Let's go and lead off with the Dragon Skull Summit. Yes, so we lead off with Dragon Skull Summit. That'll put us at black mana. We go for Battlefield Forge. We can get down Mentor of the Meek, and then we can start worrying about Relic Warder and also Selfless Spirit. Yes, I like that. Now, we did cover both commanders. It is free time. We can talk about whatever we want. And as far as this particular build of Alesha, this is kind of, believe it or not, it's Aristocrats. I love Aristocrats. A lot of fun. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with Alesha, and I was like, yeah, we got instant graveyard commander right here, so let's go and go Aristocrats. I'm really excited about that. One of the fun things that you can do with Aristocrats is you're trying to sacrifice your creatures, and especially with the Relic Warder right here, I'll kind of explain a certain line of play that's always love going for that. And actually, let's go and go for Plateau. That way we don't have to take any damage, and then the Clifftop Retreats is simply going to come into play. Let's go and go for Mentor of the Meek. Make sure we tap down for white mana. There we go. Get down that Mentor of the Meek and just start cashing in some card draw. But yeah, so with the Relic Warder, whenever it enters the battlefield, you may exile target artifact or enchantment. That's its own separate trigger. So this is basically kind of geared towards some of the, if you're new to Magic or maybe you don't know about this particular line of play, if you don't play Aristocrats. So whenever it enters the battlefield, let's get this popped over just a little bit, exile target artifact or enchantment. Then whenever it leaves the battlefield, return that card to their owner's control. So with that first trigger on the stack, if you have a sack outlet, you can sacrifice the Relic Warder. That second trigger is going to go on the stack, but there's nothing for him to give back. He's like, well, I didn't take anything. And so then there's nothing he's giving back. Then you still have that first trigger on the stack, and you get a permanent exile simply by just casting it, having it enter the battlefield, putting its first trigger on the stack, sacrificing it, and then that other trigger goes on the stack. So that's kind of how that interaction works. And that's also true for stuff like Fiend Hunter. You get down Fiend Hunter, exile target creature, and then you sacrifice it, and then yeah, you're good to go. Just a little bit of a little tip right there if you're new to Aristocrats and didn't know that particular line of play. So we do have Knight's Whisper. Yeah, let's go and go for Selfless Spirit. I think, if our opponent's going to go for a board wipe or something, I like getting a little bit of protection down. So let's go and go for Selfless Spirit. And actually, let's do it like this. Let's go and get down Clifftop Retreat. Let's go and go for Selfless Spirit because I want to leave that black mana up just in case we somehow rip into like a mana crypt or something. That way we can still go for Knight's Whisper, if possible. Yes, we're going to go and pay for that Mentor of the Meek trigger. Draw into Goblin Bombardment. That is excellent. That's the sack outlet we're talking about. So actually, I get to show that off here in just a second. Do we want to push in with Mentor? They could double block. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, it's going to push in at Freylease. I kind of like this attack. If they want to block with both of those creatures, they certainly can. Mentor of the Meek's going to go into the graveyard, but at this point right now, we have our card draw is going to be Knight's Whisper, and we can always bring back Mentor with Alesha, so I'm okay with that. At least we get to kind of get a chump block out of a Farhaven Elf, get that into the graveyard. And then anything else, we're doing past the turn. We'll worry about getting down our sack outlet for next turn. But yeah, and also if you don't know what actual Aristocrats is, we're sacrificing our creature in hopes of having Blood Artist on the battlefield. And Blood Artist says whenever a creature dies, a target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So you're hoping to get some sort of combination of at least at this point in the game, 28 creatures on the battlefield, and then sacrifice all those creatures and win the game. Now, that may seem like a lot to get 28 creatures, but we have amplifying effects. So we have stuff like Pawn of Ulamog that says whenever a non-token creature dies, we get an extra Scion token. So basically, it's going to cut the number of creatures required in half. So that's what kind of makes this fun. When you're trying to build this aristocrat board state to close the game out, you're like, okay, I finally hit Pawn of Ulamog. All right, now I need to find a Sack Outlet. Now I need to find Blood Artist. So if you've never built aristocrats, it's... you should go for it. It's a really fun kind of board state to build. It's almost kind of like playing, it's not necessarily Storm, but it's just an entirely different version of Magic, because you're still playing this kind of interactive deck, but you're still trying to, we got Nesting Dragon down. I'll cover that in just a second. Let's go and get our turn going. So let's go and get down Volrath Stronghold. And we go for Relic Warder. I think we need to, yeah, so then go for the -6. That's going to be some card draw, but that's not too bad. We can go for Alesha if we want to. If we go for Miri's Guile, we'll definitely be able to take advantage of the getting rid of that activated ability. Now, once we do get down Goblin Bombardment, we can start pinging some of these creatures. In fact, if that's what we're going to do right now, we certainly can. You know what? Let's go and get down the Sack Outlet. I think I like that. So we get down Goblin Bombardment. We can get rid of Miri's Guile and still deal that 1 damage to Fraley. Yeah, I kind of like that line of play. So let's do that. Let's go for Relic Warder. Have Relic enter the battlefield. We're going to target that Miri's Guile. And once we do, we'll sacrifice the Warder. We'll still get the trigger for Mentor of the Meek and still end up in a pretty good position. So let's go ahead and choose Miri's Guile. So the Mentor of the Meek trigger on the stack, we're going to go and sacrifice the Relic Warder. Yes, we're going to sacrifice that. And, oh, no, I think I targeted Relic Warder. Maybe we get to choose. I think I missed, that's a bummer, okay. He accidentally clicked on Relic, so he targeted himself once we sacrificed that, so I'll be a little bit more careful of Goblin Bombardment. That is a little bit of a bummer, because that would have put us in a perfect position for at least getting rid of Fraley's, if they go for that ultimate. Okay, so we'll go to get down Relic. We can still sacrifice a Selfless Spirit if we need to. Yes, we're definitely going to use that ability, and that's going to be a permanent exile. It's gone forever. I like it. Then anything else, we're going to pass the turn to our opponent. So now that's one of the fun things about this deck, is now that we have Goblin Bombardment on the battlefield, we have a 2-mana disenchant out of the graveyard for free, since we have a Sack Outlet. We don't have to worry about them ever getting something back. So that's kind of another way to keep their stuff in check. Alright, so our opponent did go for the -2 and destroy target artifact or enchantment off of Goblin Bombardment. So, but at least we got rid of that Guile. We got rid of that card advantage, because Guile in a deck like this is pretty nutty sometimes. It can it gets going pretty quick. And with these dragon eggs, oh my goodness. So we definitely need to be careful with a board wipe, because whenever it dies, they get a 2/2 dragon. And so that's one of the good things about playing aristocrats, is that let's say that our opponent does, they go for a board wipe, they get into a bunch of dragons after that. But with us playing aristocrats, we can just sit back and not attack into those dragon eggs. And it's just kind of a funny mental image, imagining Mentor of the Meek kind of dancing between the eggs, trying to get in some combat damage. But yeah, so hopefully we can kind of push past these egg tokens. We do have Buried Alive, and once we get down Buried Alive, if we can somehow rip into Living Death, that'll really kind of set us up for a really nice Aristocrats package. Just kind of depends on what we want to get. Uh-oh. Put one for Mentor of the Meek. Taking care of Selfless Spirit. Let's see how they decide to swing in. What we can do with Selfless Spirit is simply just declare it a blocker, but I'm going to swing in with the Elf Druid. Yeah, that's fine. And actually, I'm sorry, we had auto yield on, so I could have yielded Selfless Spirit to make sure we kept Mentor of the Meek on the battlefield. But unfortunately, that happened. We'll still try to get Mentor of the Meek back on. We can use Volrath Stronghold, or we can simply just use Alesha. In fact, let's go and get down Alesha. Let's go and crack Bloodstained Mire. Let's go and get down a black or red sword. So we're going to grab Badlands. That's going to put us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to put us at 6 total mana. Let's go and go for Alesha. Let's go and get her down. That way we can start pushing in. And let's go and go for a Buried Alive package. That way we can hopefully kind of dig just a little bit deeper into our library and find some pretty good stuff. So let's go and get this popped out and see exactly what we're going to grab. You know, let's go and grab a really nice, just a really kind of simple spread. Let's go for Ravenous Chupacabra. We definitely want to go and grab a sack outlet, so we're going to grab Carrion Feeder. And I guess at this point, since we don't really just have a good Aristocrats package set up, let's go ahead and go for Tide Hollow. That way we can start attacking their hand. We kind of get a really nice control loop going out of the graveyard. Anything else? No, we're going to pass the turn. And I will turn Auto Yield off. That way we can protect Alesha. So and kind of get that going. Now, it is a little bit of a slow start. What we can do with the Volraz Stronghold is we can actually put Carrion Feeder on top. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. We cast Carrion Feeder. That'll still give us just enough mana to go for Ravenous Chupacabra on Nesting Dragon. That way we don't have to worry about any more attacks in the air. They do have 3 cards in the hand. And then once we get the sack outlet going, we can start using that same thing that I talked about with Warder, in that we can bring Tide Hollow back onto the battlefield and start basically attacking our opponent's own hand. Now, they do have Planeswalkers, and that's kind of one of the ways that they can get around hand disruption. And so, but at least we do have that particular line of play if we want to go for that. Opponent's going to go for Demonic Tutor. And we'll see what's in store for us once they get this resolved. Okay, so we're going to see Primetime come down on the battlefield. So that'll definitely be a really good target for us to target with Ravenous Chupacabra out of the graveyard, since Ravenous is a 2/2. So that's definitely what we're going to be going for. And then also, to the people watching, I thought Primetime was Bandit Commander. It is Bandit Commander. What I'm recording this this video in is the 1v1 Magic Online Commander format. And so, basically, it's the same... It's the same format except for a handful of cards. For some reason, they decided that Primetime is A-OK in 1v1 Commander. I don't know why. Oh, Bojuka Bog. Oh. Oh, that hurts. Man, that hurts. Alright, so I can get those dragons going. Man. Anyway, Primetime is unbanned in 1v1 Commander because they felt that would be a fair option. So let's get Lord Windgrace popped up just a little, popped down just a little bit so we can kind of keep track of what's going on. Now they're definitely in a really good position to go for Freylease, and we're after that Bojuka Bog. Things ain't looking so good if you're keeping score at home. Let's go for Knight's Whisper. See if we can't rip into something good. If we get a board wipe, that would actually. It's kind of the opposite of a board wipe. Let's go ahead and get down Rakdos Signet. It's going to be 1, 2. We can still get down Garrison. There we go. It's going to get down Garrison. Let's go and go for Inspiring Vantage because it's going to come into play tapped. And then we're going to go and pass the turn. We don't really want to swing into this particular board state. But here's the downside. We're going to have Primetime. He's going to be really kind of ramping it up. And I don't think we're going to make it on this one. I don't think we're going to do it. We'll try our best. But also, if you're a fan of Lord Windgrace and you're like, Joel, why haven't you done Lord Windgrace? It is on my to-do list. I just literally can't find a copy of it right now. And so I'm recording in the mornings. And so since it's only been out for about a week, and apparently it's one of the more popular commanders that even checking MTGO traders, it's been hard to find it a little bit. So. But it is coming soon. And I've been working on nothing but Commander 18 this entire week. I've been building decks during my lunch. And so we'll definitely be seeing a nice little mix of Commander 18. In fact, I've got Aminatu. I think that's how you say it. The Esper Blink Commander. If I said that wrong, I do apologize. But I've got a really fun kind of a token build of her. I'm really excited to get that going. It's kind of a nice mix of control and blinking some nice tokens, stuff that got exiled from that Bojuka Bog. They got lost in the swamp. No, excuse me, that was another game we played. But it's like the Visionary Augmenter enters the battlefield. We get those 2 servo tokens. So it's a really nice, fun little token build, and it's not Aristocrats either, so I didn't force it in there. Definitely could make an Aristocrats deck with her, because Esper is really where you want to be. But that's going to be on the horizon. I'm working on Arix, the Slumbering Giant guy, which is going to be pretty cool. Once I get that, I'm going to let that come across. There's not really much. Yeah, go for it. But yeah, working on kind of like a Lands Matters themes with that. We're running a ton of lands, just get down Tatyova, and hopefully use our lands to win. And then after that, I'll be working on a couple more over the weekend. So game plan right now is to just really hit Commander 18 really hard until Guilds of Ravnica or Assassin's Creed. Yeah, we're going to use that ability. Well, not above getting a land. It's going to get down swamp, since we're a little bit tight on mana for black sources. And then let's see what we draw. Draw into Falconwrath Noble. A little late to the party. Now, if we swing in with Alesha, they can block with the Nesting Dragon. Prime time. Yeah, this is not looking good. I don't think we can do much on this one. I mean, we'll get down Falcon Red Noble and we'll go and pass the turn. Because even if we swing with Alesha, that's going to run right into the Nesting Dragon, but we can still get it back. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to cut us off on recasting Alesha, though. They could block with one of the Dragon Eggs. And we're just sitting back and taking a hit from Prime Time, too, which is not going to be good. It's going to be 6 and then 11 in the air. Because even if we attack, it's kind of like a... I mean, we could, but it's just not really going to further our board state that much. And really, it's just going to further their... just going to get rid of Alesha. Yeah, let's just go and pass the turn. We'll probably... we'll see how next turn goes. We'll see if we can't rip into board wipe, and then we'll still have to deal with a bunch of Dragon Eggs. But at least at this point, we'll just go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, I'm planning on hitting Commander 18 pretty hard, going into up until the new Ravnica set in January goes. So, kind of is one of those, like when Commander 18 released, I was like, oh yeah, it's like I need to start building some of these decks in the summer. That way, whenever it releases on Magic Online, I'll be ready. And then next thing you know, you just get into the flow of just making Commander videos. I was like, oh, Commander 18. I played against Lord Windgrace this past weekend. I was like, oh yeah, they're on Magic Online. So that's kind of what my game plan is right now. In fact, I'm going to check to see if MTGO Traders... Oh, Violent Ultimatum. So we still get our... yeah, that's fine. My opponent always catches me when I'm like doing something. I'm trying to pull up MTGO Traders on my second monitor, and that's when that happens. But yeah, it's an uphill battle on this one. So let's see, Lord Windgrace. Nope, they still don't have any yet. So hopefully, I'll be picking up soon. They'll be out by this weekend. So I'm shooting to have Lord Windgrace out next Friday. That's kind of my game plan at this point right now. Our opponent's going to swing with Prime Time. That's going to put us down to 15. And I'm sorry, this wouldn't really want much of a good Alesha video. So I'll either just kind of release it on its own, or I'll do a... something with it. I don't know. It's a little bit more of a commentary video. When I post a video, you know, this is a really good showing of Lord Windgrace. You know, you get to see those drag tokens. So I'm probably still going to go and post this up. So I do apologize that we didn't have a lot of Alesha content, but I'm always looking for some sort of good showing by a commander. We can definitely see this is a wonderful showing by Lord Windgrace. This is really good. So let's see. And we draw the command tower. All right, we're going to go and scoop it up. Uncle. I'm going to tap out. You got it. Prime Time. Actually, let's throw the good game up. That way we're not... Show chat. Good game, man. Enjoyed it. Yeah, you can see how good Nesting Dragon is. So even if we do finally find a board wipe, that's going to be like... It's going to be like 9, 10 dragon tokens on the battlefield. So good game to our opponent. Lord Windgrace is going to get it on this one. And unfortunately, yeah, we just couldn't get anything going with Alesha. There's a couple of times where I was talking about stuff, and we could have been a little bit better with Selfless Spirit to get some card draw going. But I'll probably still post this video up. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.